You are not underperforming. You are performing to the exact level of who you believe you are, to literally the dollar. Nobody has an income problem. Identity is the ceiling. It's not the market. I went from being $150,000 in debt to earning a positive $282,000. You never attract what you want. You always attract what you are. Change your identity, you change your income. You're not behind, you're becoming. Now, if you look at me, I was really failing at the highest level. I was overweight. I was in a ton of debt. I was grinding from job to job, but I was getting nowhere. And then 12 months later, I changed my whole life. In 12 months of doing the real deep identity work that I'm going to show you in this video, I went from being $150,000 in debt to earning a positive $282,000. And within 2 years, I earned the first million. Same man, same market, same economy. One thing changed: the picture I carried of myself. Now, I'm going to say that last part again because this is crucial. The one thing changed was how I saw myself, the picture that I carried myself. What is self-image? It is such a sexy topic now, but self-image is the most honest picture of how we see ourselves on a deep subconscious level. Now stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're gonna have the exact 4-step installation process. I'm gonna make it so simple, it would be impossible for you not to do it. Change your identity, you change your income. That's the whole video. Write it down. If I change my identity, I change my income. Now let me make it simple for you. If you change your story, you're gonna change your life. But why do most people never change their story? Because they're always repeating the same thoughts, having the same feelings, taking the same actions, and expecting different results. It's insanity. How do you change your story? There's 2 ways. Number 1, you rewrite the story of how you want your life to be. That is the first thing you do. And number 2, you start exposing your old story. That's your old identity. Your old identity cannot get a vote on the thoughts that you have, on the actions you take, on who you are surrounding yourself in your environment. These are the 2 ways that you're going to change your story. Nobody has an income problem. I know what you're saying. You're like, Arash, I do. I should be earning more. Could you be earning more? Absolutely. But the great Earl Nightingale used to say, everyone is exactly where they want to be right now, whether they believe it or not. But what is the reason why people who are capable of extraordinary things are settling for the same income month after month, year after year? Identity. They have an identity problem. Identity is the ceiling. It's not the market. It's not your pricing. It's not your team. It's not your job. It is the exact picture you are carrying of yourself. You never attract what you want. You always attract what you are. Like right now in this moment, ask yourself, what state am I being in? Have I already got off this video because I didn't want to do the work? Or are you staying on? Because this is the work what is going to change your entire life. The state you and I are being right now is what the universe is responding to. Now, goals are what you want. Standards are what you accept. Why is that so important? Our personal standards are what are creating our identity, and our identity is what creates our results. Most people start with goals. I want to achieve financial freedom, but they don't set the right standards in place. What are the right standards? Taking action right away. You do it right away. Behaving before you're ready. Deciding before evidence. These are standards that are going to change your life. But those are standards now that are in harmony with the goal of financial freedom, which is going to create the identity, which is going to create the actual physical manifestation of somebody who's experiencing financial freedom. Now, you don't rise to your goals. You always rise to your standards. Goals are who we aspire to be. Standards are who we really are. Now, if you go watch yesterday, I want you to go put in your mind what you did yesterday, how you behaved, the type of actions you took, what you talked about with your inner circle. Those will tell you your true standards. Your results are just a reflection of the printout of your programming. What is your programming? The foundation of your self-image. Your income, that's the range you keep landing in. Not your best month, your average month over 3 to 6 months. That will tell you your current self-image. Your calendar, what actually got your hours last week? Were you focused or were you distracted? Were you busy being busy or were you implementing with focused time on your top 20% of actions? Then you could look at your body. This is the most honest record of your standards towards your physical health. We could look at your clients. I could take you down every level, but let's start with clients. What is your ideal client? Are you attracting needy people? Are you attracting people who can't afford what you're offering? See, this is not about your worth. You are already worthy. So many people come in and they say, I've got to improve my worthiness. No, you've got to accept your worthiness. And then you perform from that worthiness. Most people are trying to build up their worthiness through accolades, but they still never feel worthy. See, everybody has to understand this. Your subconscious programming is doing its job. It's set to a number that you know you're capable of more. But until you change the way you think, that starts with how do you really want to live? See, we can't create a new self-image if we don't decide how we're going to live, because we're not going to get a clear mental picture. That's why I said in the first minute of this video, one of the first things you want to do is rewrite your story. Not as you hope it to be, but as it is, like it's already happened. And you write it in the present tense. Why the present tense? Because the subconscious only knows the now. Well, that will become your philosophy. That is your automatic operating system. Then you want to start picking one standard that you're going to start implementing. One standard will have a dramatic transformation in your self-image, which is going to create your results. See, the stronger your standards become, the stronger your identity becomes. The stronger your identity becomes, the faster your results are going to show up. See, but everybody fights at the results level. They go straight to the results. They let the results control them. So I want you to ask yourself, are you letting the results control you? Well, now you're working upstream. Now, I remember years ago, I went to my mentor and I said, I am frustrated. He said, why are you frustrated? I said, because the results. And he said, so you're going to let the results control you. And I knew I was in trouble here because I knew he was right. And he said, Arash, the results are based on the past. You don't even know if you're in a quantum leap right now. He said, but every time you let the results control you, all you did was dig up the seeds and you're starting over at day one. And I knew I had to master this. So what did I have to master? I had to master how I thought. I had to think like the person who had already achieved what he wanted. I had to think like the person that is already worthy. I had to think like the person who was already achieving the financial freedom that I desired years ago. And as I started doing that, everything started changing in my outside world. My thoughts changed. My actions changed. The type of ideas I got changed. The type of people I attracted changed. The type of clients I attracted to me changed. Why? Because I stopped carrying around a self-concept of suffering. See, this is what most people are doing. They have enormous potential, but they're carrying around a self-concept that they've been carrying around for the last 20, 30 years. And it's all about suffering. No matter what they achieve, they're suffering their way to the achievement. That is working against the law. Every time you have won big in your life, you've been working in harmony with the laws of the universe. Every time you've been forcing, you've been working against the law. Now, goals are so important because there's no reason to create a greater identity if you don't have a definite goal that you're going after. But understand this, goal setting is an intellectual exercise. It has no power. Goal achievement happens by law. What does that mean? That means when you're working in harmony with the laws of your subconscious mind. See, your subconscious mind is creating 95% of your results. Where do you think your identity is? It is in your subconscious mind. So you have to understand how it works. Where people make a mistake with goal setting and goal achievement is they don't set a goal that's worthy of them. So they set a goal they know they can achieve. So because they know they can achieve it, it doesn't cause them to get better. I challenge you to set a goal that will change your life, that will move mountains, that will change your family's life. And you want to set a goal so big that it causes you to build your self-esteem. It causes you to build discipline. It causes you to build standards. That's the whole process of goals. Goals are there for us to grow, not for us to get. Getting is the byproduct of how far we grow. And this is all identity. But before we go deeper, tell me in the chat what you really want. Is it financial freedom? Is it to get in the best shape of your life? Is it to build the business of your dreams? I want you to put it in the chat because I read every single one. And I want to help you. Whether it's business, whether it's health, whether it's prosperity, I want to know exactly what you want. One of the greatest gifts I ever got was from my mentor, Bob Proctor. He said, Arash, before we could do any of this work, I need to know exactly what you want. I need to know what you want more than anything else in the world. Our wants create abundance. But before you can change your identity, you have to have a want that you really desire more than anything in the world, that you're literally changing your life for. Because our goals, we're trading our life for. And you and I are goal-seeking organisms. We want to create. We're want creators. Now, the sad thing for me is most people never take control of their mind, so they're always just existing. They're not creating. You and I are creative beings. We are here to create the most extraordinary life, but most people never dream. After they get through childhood, they stop dreaming. I want you to dream again. I want you to build a big idea that you fall in love with. That's going to cause you to alter your self-image. Now, let me show you where your sabotage is hiding, and it's in 3 places. And it's never hiding where you're looking. See, most people are letting the outside dictate who they are. The outside is just a reflection of your past. But this is number 1, your price. Not the number that you want to charge, the number that comes out of your mouth when a real prospect gives you an objection. You are constantly lessening your price. Most people don't charge enough. And the gap between the price and your worth is what you accept in your self-image. And it is measured in dollars. When I say measured, I mean people are undercharging that's costing them hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars every single year because they never go deep enough to understand their value. See, our job is to build the most enormous image. I want you to build an enormous idea of yourself, not just what you've been doing. Then number 2, it shows up in your calendar. How much of last week was focused actions? How much of last week was intentional? You show me your calendar, I'm going to show you your bank account, period. Now, busy is what most people do. They're busy being busy, working on non-productive activities. You can't change your self-image in your comfort zone. Comfort is your enemy. We want to grow. We want to expand. I want you to have the most extraordinary life. I want you to throw suffering in the garbage can. I want you to put it in the toilet and flush it down. Don't carry it another sentence. That's just a decision. Right now, you and I are one decision away from changing our life. But understand, this doesn't happen by accident. Now, the third key sabotage is you're not walking into rooms with confidence, with certainty. You're not walking into it where your energy just changes the whole dynamic of the room, where people are like, I need to talk to that man, or I need to talk to that woman. And you don't put yourselves in the right rooms because you're hiding, you're shrinking, you're always planning to plan. These are the 3 greatest forms of sabotage. And I want you to look at them. Which ones do you have? Is it your price? Is it the calendar? Or is it the rooms you're getting in? Put one word in the chat. Name it as the first sign of ownership. Here's the part that sets you free. You didn't choose your current self-image. You inherited it. It's like excellence isn't inherited, it's constructed. From the ages of 0 to 7, there's no filter. Everything walks straight inside of your subconscious mind. What money meant at your dinner table, that became your program. Whether it caused fights, what people like us do and don't do, that's what created your self-image around money. The 6-year-old took out that delivery of that program that you've been running as an adult. ever since. It's not your fault, but it's your responsibility now to change it. Now, you and I can change anything. We are the only problem and the only solution we're ever going to have. But it never dies on its own. The only way you're going to change your image is by being intentional. See, what most people do is they over-dramatize their losses and minimize their wins. A great week gets discarded. I was lucky. I hope I do it again. A bad week, there I am again. It keeps happening again. Well, there's the story, the self-fulfilling prophecy. And then you create 10 years of evidence, 20 years of evidence, 30 years of evidence, and only one side of the file grows. You know the side? What I did wrong. And so you keep creating a picture that is smaller and smaller. So you're never going to be able to create big dreams with a small picture. You want to create a greater image and a lesser concern. And when you do that, everything is going to change. You and I, and every person walking this planet, there's two identities living inside every single person. You're either operating from the survival identity or the wealth identity, not both at the same time. It's one or the other. Now, the survival identity is always running from something. They're making every decision out of fear. They're indecisive. And they call it being responsible. I have to wait on it. I have to think. Waiting is the biggest sabotage that every individual makes. You have to act on ideas right away. You take the money that's closest, not the money that's right. So what are the choices you're making right now, just out of what I just said from your survival identity? The wealth identity is different. They're moving towards purpose. They're going after something that drives them. They're in love with big ideas. They're in love with dreams that they don't even know how they're going to do. And their language is always, I don't know the how, I don't know the when, I just know it's already done. But they're decisive. They make decision before the evidence ever arrives. And they hold the standard on their worst day when it doesn't feel like it's going to happen. They still believe in their dream. See, what is identity? It's habit. But what creates identity? Belief. What is belief? It's what you automatically accept. That's a belief. Now, you've got to change your beliefs of the past. So I want to give you an exercise right now. I want you to make a list of the beliefs that no longer serve you. And then I want you to make a list of the actions that no longer serve you. And then I want you to make a list of the people that no longer serve you. And I literally want you to write this down. And at the end of the list, you're going to say, I am no longer accepting this in my life. Now, what did we just do? We just created a wealth standard. Wealth is a standard, not a strategy. Money is an effect. It's just a mirror. Everything in our life is a mirror. It doesn't lie about who we are. Our results are neutral. They're a compass of our life. You know, I can tell you, I remember so many times that I sat with my mentor, Bob Proctor, and he told me, until you change your self-image, you're never going to change your life. But I created 4 steps that I deconstructed with all the mentorship that I did with Bob, and I made it into the most simple way, because simplicity always scales and complexity fails. The first one, write the new picture. Before you can create a picture in your mind, you've got to get it down on a piece of paper. So I want you to write on a piece of paper right now, I am so happy and grateful now that I am earning whatever you want, 100,000 or more every month, and I love it. Why? Because now you have a picture. Once you put it on paper, it creates a picture in our mind. And I want you to write it, and you don't have to believe it. I didn't believe it. You know, I didn't believe it for quite some time. Then in a few months, I believed it, and then I achieved it. So what you write, now we got to create it into an image. I want you to create now, you have the picture written on paper. Now I want you to create it in your mind. Here's the trick about manifestation. When you already have it, like it is already done, like you could see your hand, like I can see my hand, is when it's coming into your life. Most people never create that certainty that they already have it. So then you want to create a visualization, a 30-second image of people congratulating you. I'm so proud of you. How did you do this? I watched you grow so fast. You create a 30-second image of somebody congratulating you for already achieving it. Now we took it from paper and we put it into our mind. Now you do that every single day, over and over and over and over again. It's going to become the dominant new picture that you hold on a subconscious level. Now it has to be in the present tense because the subconscious never goes to the past or the future. It's always, creation is always in the present tense. And I want you to feed it to yourself every 3 hours. Why? Because it's a repetition that's going to keep you thinking about what you want over and over and over again. Now, every time you do it, you set an alarm on your phone, and when it rings, you read out that affirmation to yourself. I'm so happy and grateful now that I am the man, I am the woman that is now earning $100,000 or more every month, and I love it. Then you spend 30 seconds creating that visual image in your mind. When you do that, every 3 hours you're returning back to the state of what you want. Returning back to the state, returning back to the state. Eventually that state is going to become your home. Now here's the thing. Most of you will not do this. You'll think this is crazy. Test it for 30 days. You won't think I'm that crazy. That's what creates belief. For you to get what you want, you have to get on a new state. That state is a body of beliefs. How do you create beliefs? It's the repetition of giving yourself an idea over and over again. See, if I just got you to do steps 1 and step 2, you'd be off and running with your new self-image. But understand, the old program has a 30-year head start, 20-year head start, 10-year head start, depending on where you are in your life. You don't out-argue it. You don't out-repeat it. Repetition is how you change it. It's the repetition of doing an act over and over again that creates a belief. And that belief is going to become your new identity. And that identity is going to create your results. Then every morning, step 3 is every morning, you look straight in your eyes before the phone ever touches your hand. And you say, I am statements. I am is identity based, but you've got to feel it. You say, I am powerful, but you've got to feel powerful. And as soon as you do it, the outside world is going to show you how powerful you are. You say, I am disciplined, but you've got to feel disciplined, even when you're not. I am rich. You've got to feel rich, and richness chases you. I am wealthy. You feel wealthy, and wealth will start chasing you. I am the person who does what they said they would do. You watch how much the outside world will chase you. I am is so important, and most people are using it reckless. They say, I am stuck. I am broke. I'm not good enough. I am not worthy. This is what they're telling themselves, and what do they keep doing? They keep inheriting that because that's chasing them. See, eye contact is going to get you to get it on a subconscious level faster than anything else. It seeps down when we look into our eyes. I want you to become the person who does. Now, none of this works without action. You take one action every day like your future self. You take one action out of your comfort zone. Now, I'm only asking for one right now to start. It's the little actions, the tiny habits that create the big results. Now, the action is the most important thing we do every day. Why? Because it's a visceral experience. Your subconscious doesn't believe what you say, it believes what you do repeatedly. I'm going to say that again. Your subconscious doesn't believe what you say, but it will believe it if you say it enough time. But it believes what you do repeatedly. Burn this in your mind. This is $1 million idea for you. So I hope you're listening. I hope you're getting this. It is much easier to change your self-image by behaving your way into a new identity than it is to think your way. So as soon as you get out of your comfort zone, you just behaved your way. You literally rewired your self-image in that moment. Now you can make that a habit. You watch how much wealth is going to change you. Make the call you've been avoiding out of your comfort zone. Quote the real price you want, and then stay quiet. You keep doing this in 30 days, I promise you, you're going to notice your self-image is changing. Why? Because you're going to notice the type of actions you take are changing. You notice your thoughts are changing. And understand this, the results are going to be the last part that changes. You've got to follow it. Philosophy, your automatic operating system. Your philosophy creates your standards. Standards create abundance. Your standards create your new story. Your story creates the identity, and identity creates results. But here's what's going to happen. You're going to do it for 2 days, then you're not going to see the results. This is what most people do. They start, stop. They never do it long enough. They've been thinking this way taking action the same way for 20 years and then they give themselves 2 days and they say it doesn't work. Why? Because their old self, that survival identity, comes back and reels them in. And it makes it seem reasonable. Let's be practical. I'll restart on Monday. Don't give in. Don't negotiate. You don't need to feel better. You need to follow this 4-step framework. And it's the little things, the little ideas, the little actions compounded over time that are going to create the enormous results. You may think right now you should be further than you are. You should be exactly where you are. Can you be further? Yes. Are you going to be further? Absolutely you are. You're not behind. You're becoming. You're committing at the highest level. I want you to connect changing your self-image to changing your life, because that's what it does. You change your self-image, you change your life. What did I say in the first 30 seconds? You can never outperform your self-image, but you can change it. And I want you to change it. You change your image, you change your incomes. It happens in that order. And it only happens in that order. Write out on a piece of paper exactly what you want in the present tense. Set the 3-hour alarm. Take one action out of your comfort zone daily. And you are off to the races. And create that image. Create that picture over and over again. But do it starting right now. Like, pause this video and write down the steps. Write down exactly what you want. And then make every decision from your future, not from your past, not from what's comfortable. And if you do that, your life is going to change.